Hello, my name is Mike, and today I'm going to make salsa. I learned how to make this in the firehouse. I've been a firefighter for many years, and one thing that I learned very early in my career is how to make salsa in the firehouse. A lot of people have said that I should really market this, but I really have got to get the okay from generations of firefighters that have just taught each other how to make salsa. And so I just do it for my own benefit and for parties, and it's really easy to make. And you can get all the ingredients at any store for under $10, depending on how much you want to make. Usually 2 cans here of whole peeled tomatoes salsa is good for roughly, a family size of 4 to 6 people. But if you wanted a party, I would probably add 3 cans or even 4 cans. And the only thing you got to double with the cans is the jalapeno pepper. It just is a ratio of 2 to 1, depending on how hot you want it. So let me start here. The first thing I do is you wash all of the vegetables here to make sure they're clean. You drain the juice out of the tomatoes. It produces enough juice anyway, so you don't need to have the extra juice. It just would be very watery and watered down. So the first thing I did, and I have already washed everything, I have cut my onion in half. I'll use half of it now and then half of it at a later time. And I put everything in my food processor here. So the first thing I do is I take my whole bundle of cilantro and I throw it in, kind of spread it out a little bit. I'll cut up my pepper, and I usually cut it up into fourths just because it cuts a little bit better, and depending on how hot you want it, the less you have of it, it won't make it as hot, but you can make it hotter by adding cayenne pepper if you want it a little bit spicier. But if you made it too spicy, then it's really hard to water it down and make it less spicy. You'd have to add a whole another can of whole peeled tomatoes to make it less spicy. Trust me, I've done it where I've made it really spicy. And then I'll cut up half of my onion here, and I'll throw them all in, oops, except for that one. 1 can of whole peeled tomatoes there will go in because that will mix it up really well and get everything going. And I just set it at pulse, and I just look for it to get really kind of liquidy, the first one, and the second one I want to make really chunky. So I'll go ahead and go first. That's about 20 to 30 seconds total to make it good, and you just kind of want it. You don't want it too chunky on the first one. You kind of want it a little bit liquidy. Here is my bowl right here. I'm gonna pour it down in there. And now for my second one. The second one is really important because that's where you really get the chunkiness out of the salsa and stuff. Sometimes if people like bigger tomatoes or a little bit bigger onions and stuff, and this would be the way to go. If you just like it all really finely chopped, just run your food processor a little bit longer, and you will get that. For me, I like to just kind of pulsate it just a little bit, just to break it up and get it chunky. And I just pulse it a little bit. I make it chunky. About 4 or 5 times to where just the tomato and the onion is just chopped up, but not really done up really well like the first time. Let me pour this in here. And it really is that easy. Give me a spoon, Audrey. This is garlic salt. You just add as needed, a little bit. I add a little bit at a time just to give it a little bit of saltiness taste. Mix it up. Add a little bit more of garlic salt. And you can use regular salt too, it doesn't have to be garlic salt. Now for my favorite part, the taste test. You always want to taste test your salsa before you give it to anybody. Perfect. So it's that easy. That's how you make salsa. I learned it in the fire station, and it's super easy to make. Different firefighters make it different ways. This is the way I learned it, and this is still to the day that I still make it like this. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you learned something, and you can make salsa that easy for any party. Thanks.